Good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is me. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. If that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. All right, so I am waiting for my chat to pop up, so I can't see y'all just yet, but I am almost there. It takes me a minute once I get signed on, and I do believe we have a slight delay here. Let me see. All right. So, good morning. Good morning. Today is Thursday, and you know what that means, Thankful Thursday. So, let me just start out by saying I am grateful for each and every one of you guys, and I am grateful for my family, and I'm grateful for my home and all of the beautiful things in my life. Good morning, Nargis. Good morning, Malta, Latanya, Deb. Mora, Nargis says, good morning, dearest all. On my days off, I literally stay glued to my phone, waiting anxiously for Angie, dearest. You are so sweet. Hello, Debs Palmer. Hello, Malta. Good morning, Latanya Davis. Let's see. Good morning, Mr. Malta. Muddy Cheeks says, good morning. Good morning and welcome, Muddy Cheeks. Great name. Hope everybody's doing well today. Good morning, Miss Lily. Oh, Muddy Cheeks comes all the way from Barbados. Well, that is amazing. Welcome, welcome. You guys, tell me what you're grateful for today. Let's start out with that, shall we? Oh, good morning. Squeaker Wood says, good morning, all. Beautiful and red, Miss Angie. Well, thank you very much, my friend. Doris says, good morning from California. I'm grateful for another day. That is a beautiful thing, my friend, and welcome, welcome. I'm glad to hear that. Shelly Kelly's in the house. Good morning, Shelly Kelly, and welcome, my friend. Happy to see you here today. Everybody, tell me what you're grateful for today. Oh, look, it's Tommy D. He says, good morning, Hybrid Thrivers. Good morning, Tommy D. How are you, my friend? Sarah Khan is in the house. Hello, Sarah Khan. Good morning and welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here today. Let's see, what else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my beautiful office, even though it's a little messy right now, but not for long because we are very quickly or slowly decluttering my house and yours in our 30-day home makeover decluttering challenge. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check it out on my channel. Life's Revival in the house says, good morning, everyone. Happy blessings to you. Happy to see you back again here, my friend. And welcome. Happy blessings back at you. No More Evil in the house says, good morning, sunshine. Good morning. And let's see here. We have Stand Firm in the house says, good morning. Good morning, Stand Firm. Happy to see you today. And Life's Revival says, I'm grateful for feeling free. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, is it not? I totally relate to that. Latanya Davis says, I'm grateful for all the support while recovering. Awesome. Thank you very much, my friend. And Nargis Z says, I'm grateful that after over 40 years of control by my many narcs in life, at least I can now breathe and even just drop everything and relax. No one controlling me anymore. Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful thing, my friend. Candy Cook is in the house. Hello, Miss Candy. Welcome back. She says, good morning, coffee cup, clink, bink. And good morning to Malta. No More Evil says, walking, breathing, and smiling. That is a beautiful thing, my friend. Definitely things to be grateful for sure. Oops, and let's see here. Miss Morris says, oops, I lost my spot. Miss Morris says, I am grateful for my 2-year-old who gave me toast this morning with her milk and my coffee. Oh, that's so sweet. Cheers to all of you from me and her. Back at you, Mora, and that is beautiful and wonderful, and I'm so happy to hear it. Nargis says, I am grateful I am able. That is a beautiful thing, my friend. Rose Hargrove in the house says, good morning, Angie. For all the moms who have children with narc moms, watch Angie's video. My son is a narc because of time with my mom. Yeah, thank you, Rose. And I'll tell you something. One thing I didn't mention in that video that I intend to do an entire video on is that I think the best way to teach children not to be narcissists is to teach them empathy. All right. So here's an example. This is funny. At the other, like two days ago, my daughter walked in the bathroom on me. And normally I don't mind this, but I was kind of in a weird position and I was naked. And I don't really feel that comfortable with my kids seeing me naked anymore because they're too old. And I was trying to get dressed, and I was just in a very awkward position in that moment. And so I sort of yelled at her and I said, "Get out of here." And then I came out and I said, "I'm so sorry that I yelled at you, but I need you to understand how I felt in that moment." I said, "Do you understand why that would bother me?" She said, "No." And I said, "Well, I want you to really think about it. And what would you do in that situation?" And da, da, da. So I explained to her how I felt, and then I explained to her why it's important for her to understand how people feel. And it was a funny, weird situation, but honestly, to teach your children to take the time instead of just yelling at them and telling them not to do something, explain why. So in this case, especially when it's an empathy issue. So in this case, I told her, "I'm not angry at you and I'm sorry that I yelled at you, but I just need you to understand how I would feel if you just busted in my bathroom." Now, mind you, this was my master bathroom in my bedroom. So it wasn't like I was in the public part of the house or anything. You know what I'm saying? I was getting ready for bed. So it was weird and uncomfortable. But she eventually understood how I felt. And I thought that was really important. And I think that's the thing that we have to do. Not all children naturally understand how to care about how people feel. Now she's 9, so she's just about the age where they really, according to my research, should begin to start having empathy. But you can even start to teach them that as early as 5 years old. But of course, up until the point they're 2, they're their own center of their own world, and that's normal and natural. But when we get to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, that's when we start, around 9 is when they can really start to feel empathy generally, according to what psychologists say. Anyway, Rose, thank you. Kyan Campbell says, "Good morning, everyone. I'm grateful for my 3 adorable children." That is beautiful. And hello, Kyan. Welcome back. Ms. Lily says, "Grateful for my interview today. It's for a manager position. I didn't think they would call. Congratulations. Good luck. Keep us posted. I'm so excited for you." Nargis Z says, "I'm grateful for being me." That is a beautiful thing, my friend. To be living for me, she says. Oh, I missed that part. That's great, Nargis. Shannon O'Brien in the house says, "Happy rainy Hello, rainy Thursday." Yes, it's rainy here too, Shannon. Let's see here. It's been raining here for a few days now. It's been kind of dark outside. Not dark, but kind of gray. Ooh, excuse me. Soraya Rodriguez is here. Welcome, welcome. Soraya says, "I'm grateful because I'm free from PTSD finally. I'm doing very good and I'm proud of me. Namaste." Oh, that is beautiful, my friend, and I'm so happy for you, and I'm also proud of you. Malta in the house says, "I'm grateful for the delicious coffee that's sitting beside me." I'm always grateful for that one, my friend. Good point. Maura DeLuca says, "I'm grateful for the beautiful leaves and Halloween decorations." Oh, yes. I don't know if you guys have been watching long, but anybody who's been watching me for long might remember that my family does a huge Halloween party every year. We just think it's so much fun. We all dress up and it's silly, but you'll see pictures. I'll probably do a little vlog on that day. I did a vlog last year. If you want to look it up, it's really silly and stupid, but whatever. We have a good time with it. Elizabeth says, "Good morning. I'm thankful for having a house to declutter." Excited. Yes. When I was driving home today, I thought to myself, as I pulled back into my neighborhood after dropping my daughter off from school, I thought, it's really easy to forget to be grateful and to forget the gifts that we have, especially when we do live in a little bit of clutter now and then. And I'll tell you something, I live in a really nice neighborhood and I feel really blessed. And I didn't always. We just bought this home 3 years ago. And a little more than 3 years now, but when we bought this home, we moved from a neighborhood that was not as good. And not as, it was an older neighborhood. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't terrible, but certainly this one's prettier and this one is more organized and this one has a better situation for the kids. So I'm really grateful for that as well. Okay. And I'm also very grateful for having a house to declutter, Miss Elizabeth. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Malda says, "Good morning, Candy Cook." No More Evil says, "I'm also grateful for my long year friends that stood beside me even now in the real bad times." And I totally feel you on that, my friend. It is so important. And anytime and see, a lot of times the narcissists are so good at isolating us from our friends that we end up having no one at the end. And that's the worst part, at the end of the relationship with the narcissist or even during it. Sarah Khan says, "Grateful for being abuse free and escaping my marriage to narc before kids." Girl, ain't that the truth? I am kudos to you for that one. Candy Cook says, "Free, free at last. Peace of mind is what I'm grateful for." It's a beautiful thing, my friend. It really is. Narga says, "I'm also grateful. After I dumped him, my daughter came back to me. She's so blessed to have her with me. She's a joy and a gem." Oh, that is beautiful, Nargis. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing it. Renee Goodell's back. Hey, Renee, missed you. She says, good morning, back after 5 days in Iowa. How was it? Tell me what happened. What was it all about? Shelly Kelly says, I'm grateful that my ex didn't win at poisoning me for insurance money. Shelly, I'm so sorry. She says, I'm grateful that, I'm glad that glad you didn't make it. That's horrible, though, that this happened to you. Is he in prison now? Or she? I hope so. She says, every breath is never taken for granted. And, sometimes if you look at a situation like that, you could absolutely be just losing it, right? But if you look at it like Shelly's looking at it, she's like, you know what? At least I'm still breathing. That's something to be grateful for. And I'm really happy to see you framing that situation that way, Shelly. And I hope you're protecting yourself from this person now and in the future. Stan Firm says, how can someone become a narc, such as from a spouse? I think someone could become a narc. I think everybody who is a narc becomes a narc. I've done research as to, is it nurture or nature? And I think up to a point it is nurture. Certainly there are some people who are going to be more likely to fall into that type of behavior based on the way that their brains are set up and stuff like that. But I certainly think that someone could become a narcissist just by it has to do with a core wound, I think, to begin with, but also in some rare cases, it's just about being selfish. It's just about not having the ability to have empathy. Can someone become a narcissist from a spouse? Maybe. Can someone become a narcissist from a narcissist? Not really if they're a spouse, but you can certainly pick up bad habits from them. And you can certainly become used to not caring about how people outside of the narcissist feel because of the way that they treat you, if that makes any sense. Because you become so obsessed with making sure they're not upset that you stop caring about how people other than them feel. Does that make sense? That's usually in the height of the abuse, though. Nargis says, that burgundy on you suits you. I loved our colors. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Erica Gibson in the house says, good morning. I'm grateful. I'm finally starting to wake up and see that this abuse isn't normal life and it could be better if I make it so. I love that, Erica. Thank you so much for sharing it. Tommy D says, doing very well. Oops, hold on. I lost my spot. Sometimes I get it kind of rolls up on me real quick and I have to find out where I'm at. Let's see. Maybe I can just do it this way. Okay, Tommy D says, I'm doing very well. Grateful for all of yous and you, Ange, for keeping me grounded and on reality. Reality is the narc is straight up evil, bent on your destruction and for their own self-interest and gain. And I think there's definitely something to that, to a point. You know what I'm saying? I think there is certainly, I don't know that, every narc is evil, but I think that when they get to this point where they are becoming destructive and they are so selfish that they just do not care, like Tommy says, your own self-interest and gain, yeah, they certainly behave like evil people and they certainly do seem bent on your destruction. And what I think all comes down to is they don't really care one way or another if you're destroyed, unless of course they're trying to destroy you because you won't take them back or whatever. It's a mess. Rebel Law is here and says, what about the negativity from kids after being around the narcissist? Constant complaining, negative, glass isn't half full, it's just about to break, sounds like the narc dad. Well, that is something that you can work on. And it starts with your own positivity. So whenever they, oh, mom, this glass is only half full or whatever, just say something like, well, oh, mom, this glass is about to break. Say, well, at least it's still half full. You kind of slowly condition them by yourself being positive, always looking for the positive. And depending on their age, you can even ask them, if they say, oh, this glass is about to break, you can say, well, what's a better way to look at that? The glass still has some use left in it or whatever. Or we can throw it away and buy a new glass or whatever, teach them how to reframe their thoughts. One thing that I did with my kids, which I thought was really helpful, was I bought my son Noah, I bought him and my son Cameron The Teen Secret, which is a book written by the author of The Secret. And it just talks about the law of attraction a little bit and how to stay positive. And it's made a big difference. My middle son right now is really positive and strong in his desire to become the person he wants to be. So I think it just depends on your child, but give them information to help them understand why being positive is better. Show them how to do it, model it yourself. I think that's the way to start. Sasha Bittner says, grateful I was in another country for my commitment ceremony anniversary with my ex. I had a minor thought of slight sadness, but it helped to be in another country. Certainly, I could understand that one, my friend. Yeah. Nargis says, yesterday, my oldest son and I went out for lunch. We got to talk about our life. It's still good no matter what the struggles are. I even played your yesterday chat video. Oh, that's awesome, Nargis. I love that. What did he say? Did he feel pretty positive about it? Shannon O'Brien says, caring for animals can help. Oh, so true. Excellent. She says, caring for animals can help children develop empathy. We have plans to be kitten fosters. The 30-day cleanup is helping us make a kitten safe home. That's amazing. That is amazing. I am so thrilled on both counts. I think your children are going to be loving it. Kittens are so cute. Sonora Rodriguez has flowers to share. Muddy Cheeks says, I'm grateful for your posts. They really do help me. Well, thank you so much, Muddy Cheeks. I really appreciate you saying that. It means a lot to me. Shannon O'Brien says, in 1996, we had a series of foster kittens. It was a wonderful experience. That is awesome. And I totally, you know how I feel about cats, y'all. I love me some cats and kittens. Adorable. Yeah. And you know, fostering kittens is super fun because then you kind of always have kittens around. So that's nice. Stan Firm says, I'm grateful for waking up as painful as it is. Oh, honey, I feel you. It is painful. It was painful for me as well when I started to realize what was really going on. But wow, what a big difference in life when you change the way that you see things and feel. It's huge. And waking up and realizing what you're dealing with is painful, but also in a way liberating because then you know for sure that you're not the crazy one and it's not really your fault, I think. And when you can recognize that, then you can start to see things from a whole other perspective, which makes a huge difference. Yeah. All right. Donna M says, grateful for my son coming home from college this weekend. Oh, that's awesome. Love, love, love it. Tamara Lynn says, severely depressed this morning. I talked myself into thinking the narc wasn't a narcissist and basically handed him my heart this past week and he stomped on it and fed it to the dogs. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. I'll tell you what, Tamara, that is not, you're not the first person or the last person to do that. We have all gone into that place where we thought, maybe we were wrong, maybe we're judgy, maybe we're this, maybe we're that. And yes, it's horrible what happened to you, and I really feel for you here, but I want you to know something. Maybe you can just look at this as confirmation of what you already knew, and it sucks that you handed him your heart. But since he made it clear that he is what you thought he was in the first place, in a way, you could look at this as a sort of closure. Even though you're never going to get real closure from this person, if you look at it as a sort of closure and a sign that it's time for you to step up and restart on your own terms, I think that's going to be huge for you. I'm looking at your photo. You're a beautiful woman. You don't, and I know that doesn't help right now, but I promise you that if you want to be with someone else in the future, you will be. But what you need to do before you think about that is I want you to consider taking care of yourself and loving yourself enough that you will not hand your heart to someone else who will throw it down and feed it to the dogs. Okay. Stay with us, Tamara. We'll help you get back into the place where you're ready to move forward. Okay. Val Mel in the house. Hello, Val Mel, and welcome. Says, hello, Angie. I'm over my ex, but have now been obsessing over a coworker who is married. Any suggestions? Thanks. Well, yes. I suggest that you change your perception on that person because being that they're married, I don't think that it would be useful to you to continue to focus on that person. I'm guessing that you're not obsessing all on your own. I'm guessing that person has given you some sort of flirtation or signs that they are married. Give me some more information about how you're obsessing and maybe I can help you better. My suggestion is to change your focus and not focus on that person and what it is. Maybe there's something about that person that you like that you could find in other people. You know what I mean? Like if you're obsessing over someone because they're really kind and they tell funny jokes, write those things down. Those are some of the things you're looking for in a person. Maybe if it's about the way they look, there's people all over the world that look similar, I'm sure. You know what I mean? But I'm sure there's more to it than that. Why don't you share with me what it is that you're obsessing about, and maybe I can help you a little better. Nargis says, Sarah Khan, yes, that is a great blessing to leave your narc before you had kids with him, right? I know, girl, I know. Ms. Jillian says, beautiful Angie, good morning. Well, good morning, beautiful Jillian. How are you today, my friend? Nancy Garcia says, I'm grateful because my narcissist husband has finally left the house and I can finally be in peace for a few hours. I feel you, girl. I understand, and I absolutely understand. Nancy, do you have an exit plan, or is he just what are you doing with this one? Are you working your way out of it, or what? Shannon O'Brien says, grateful for Angie's 30-day challenge. Awesome. Thank you. Today we're going to do the entertainment center. It'll be fun. Well, some people will some people will be doing the people who have more than one living room will be doing one of their living rooms. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Life's Revival says, good luck to Miss Lily. And Morris says, I feel like my daughter shows signs of empathy already. Great advice for teaching kids like that. Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood is a great show for young children to learn about their feelings. That's great. Yeah. And more, that is one of the things, learning about their feelings. So one of the ways that you teach children empathy early like this is to help them identify their own feelings. And once you do that, then they start, as they get older, you begin to help them identify people's feelings. So identifying the feelings first is important, and understanding when faces look a certain way, they feel a certain way, and so on and so forth. It's all more important than I think anybody realizes. Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you for reminding me about that, Maura. And yeah. And I remember the first time I thought my daughter showed empathy. She was about 10 months old. She just started walking. And I remember I was working at my computer. At that time I was in the living room working because A, I had a little tiny baby, and B, because I was I didn't have an office yet and not a real one. And so I was sitting in the living room working, and my daughter, I like hurt my finger or something, and I kind of shouted out, and my daughter came to me, and she was like, that's weird. And she was like, oh, and she put her little hand on my arm and like patted me, like she was concerned about me. And I thought, wow, she's pretty little to know, and I remember thinking to myself that I hadn't experienced that with either of my boys who are older than her. And I thought maybe that was a girl thing. But I know my middle son is a big empath. And so, I don't know. Anyway, everybody's different, whatever that was about. All right. Malta says, good morning, Jillian. And Ms. Ruby says, I'm thankful I can freely express myself. It is a beautiful thing, is it not, Ms. Ruby? And let's see. Tamara Lynn says, his mom is sick and he's punishing me for not being a good supply. I feel so worthless. Girl, you're not worthless. Oh my gosh, you're not worthless, and you cannot allow someone to make you feel that way. What is it, like Eleanor Roosevelt said, something about you can only, now I want to Google the quote. Who knows the quote? People can only make you feel as bad as you let them, or something like that. I bet somebody puts it in the chat because anyway, yeah, Tamara, that's not something you should continue to, I'm trying to find your, I lost chat. Okay. Okay. You are not worthless. You do not deserve that. And I'm so sorry that you were going through that. I hope that at some point, I hope you see that. I hope you look at yourself and you realize that you deserve better than this, because you do. All of us do. You deserve better. I'm so sorry. Everyone sends comfort to Tamara. Nargis has roses and flowers and hearts for Tamara. Why do people call me when I'm in a live stream? I just can't answer the phone right now, y'all. All right, let's see here. Buffering connection problems, says No More Evil. Does anyone else have problems with the connection? Muffy says, blessed day, Angie, Malta, and Tribe. Been missing everyone. Sorry, I've been away kind of. Well, Muffy, I am happy to have you back. Welcome back, my friend. And we've missed you as well. Let's see here. Maura DeLuca says she's 2. So, of course, she also has the toddler-like narc-like traits. But at this age, it's a given. Yeah, of course, it's a given. And that's the thing. toddlers are just babies, really. I mean, and they're still kind of getting there. They until they're 2 years old at least, they are the center of the world as far as they're concerned, and that is, like I said, normal and natural and healthy. And quite honestly, if they don't feel that way at 2 years old, then they might be in a bad situation. So you're doing the right thing, Maura. She's definitely on the right. You're on the right page with your girl. Alex says, "I hello, Alex Rufino. Welcome, welcome." Says, "I'm grateful for you, Angie. You were a very integral element to me, completely detaching from my narc last spring. Love, love always." Back at you, and thank you so much for sharing that, Alex. I appreciate you. Malta McMurtry says, "Good morning, Muffy. Happy to see you." And Tamara Lynn says, "Thanks, Nargis. I honestly think I enjoy the misery. You would think anyway." Sweetie, I do kind of get that, actually, believe it or not, but please remember that you deserve better than that. I just want you to remember that. It took me a long time to really get it, and really understand that I really did deserve better. But I promise you, Tamara, I'm no better than you. We both deserve better. You don't have to put up with that. Anybody who's an empath, first of all, anybody who cares about how people feel deserves better. I know you care about how people feel. And I think that's really obvious based on discussions that we have had. But I think regarding this particular situation with him punishing you for not being a good supply, girl, you don't deserve that. Don't let yourself be in that situation any more than you need to be. I'm telling you. Um, Jillian says, "Tamara, you're too beautiful for that. I'm so sorry. I've been there. We're here. Just move forward as best you can. Taking one step will bring others." And that's right. And you know what, Tamara, here's something to be grateful for today. You're here with us and you're making an effort. So don't beat yourself up about it, okay? It's really everybody falls off the wagon now and then, my friend. Okay. Tommy D says, "Welcome back to Maryland. We love you. Get back on that narco wagon and giddy up, gal." I love that, Tommy. Bonnie is in the house. Hello, Bonnie. She says, "Thankful Thursday. Glad for a beautiful day." That's a beautiful thing, my friend. Nikita Paget says, "Hey, Angie, I just saw that you were on live." Hey, Nikita, how you doing? Eddie Nose says, "What's up, Angie?" Hey, Eddie Nose, welcome back, my friend. I'm chilling, whatever. Jillian says, "Depressed today, not going to lie. I think it's all the long hours. Good news is I have options, just got to figure it out." Jillian, I am so sorry. I hate to see you depressed. Have you gotten any sort of satisfaction at work? I know you've been stressed out about some things going on there. Let me know. Big hugs and love to you and positive energy your way. Eddie Nose says, "Tommy, what's up, bro?" Renee Goodell says, I reconnected with a couple of good friends. I was able to spend some time with family. It was relaxing, and I needed time away from work. That is a beautiful thing, Renee. I'm so happy that you got to do that. Thank you for sharing it. Nikita, I think we all could use a little bit of that sometimes. Nikita says, "Hey, Tommy D." No More Evil says, "Well, I guess it's either my phone or the Wi-Fi. No idea. Never know with an arc in the house." Oh, I feel you. I feel you. Let's see. Tommy D says, "Sup, Ed." Eddie knows. Ed, no. That's funny. All right. Muffy says, "Great to see you, Malta. Always a smile when you say hi." Jillian says, "Grateful for the queen being, recovery, and that I'm not being abused and that I can change." Love it, love it, love it. Tamara says, "Thanks, Jillian. I could be Miss America and he would still find something wrong with me." That's right. It's not about you, my friend. It's not about you. Okay. All right. This is the same number calling me back. I hope it's not an emergency. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. I'm really sorry. I'm afraid this might be about my kids, and my kids are both out of the house at school right now, so I better answer this. I will be here tomorrow. Well, I can't answer it while I'm on live stream. Can I? Should I? Hold on one second. Let me just see if it's important. Hello? Nope, not important. Okay, just a spam call. See, I didn't have to sign off after all. All right. Sorry, guys. Um, Yeah, Tamara, that's the thing. You could be Miss America and he really would still find something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you except, you know, that you are too kind and that you allowed him back in your heart for a minute. And that's the thing about narcissists, it does not matter. You could be Miss America, you could be Mr. whatever the male version of that is. You could be, everything that that person wants and still they would pick you apart. In fact, Tamara, quite often we are everything that that person wants and they are threatened by it. I'm just saying. It's not you. Malta has a big smile. Bonnie says, narcissists tend to enmesh people and then triangulate their flock of cult members, family, friends, acquaintances, and their sphere of influence. Truth. Yes, Bonnie, that's absolutely the truth. Muffy says, I agree, Shelley. I need to take pointers from you, my friend. Well, there you go. Freedom Lee in the house. Hello, hello. Freedom Lee says, thankful for you, Angie. Also spent time with my daughter yesterday. That's great. How did it go? No More Evil says, I can't get a connection. Don't know why. Was okay a minute ago. Oh, sweetie, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with that. Jeanette Stetson Buck is back in the house today. Hey, Jeanette. She says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sasha Bittner says, totally with you, Sarah. One way that I knew I had to break up with my ex was I knew he would be a terrible dad and may verbally abuse any future kids. You know, if all of us could have had that foresight, huh? It all happens so fast. It really does sometimes. Excuse me. Latanya Davis says, Angie, have you ever tried crystals for healing? Has anyone here used crystals for healing? Okay. So I used to be really into crystals. I still love the way they look and everything, but the way that I see it now, I don't need anything like that. Not that I don't love them. I do. I think they're beautiful, and if they help you to focus your energy, excellent. For me personally, what I have learned is that I have all the ability without the tools. The tools for me were just an energy focus thing, and so at this point in my life, I have evolved to the point that I do not require tools, if that helps at all. Everybody's different, and I respect not only your opinions and beliefs, but you know, the even if they're different than mine, I respect them. I don't have any negativity. Like I said, I love crystals. I have them all over my house, and I have them in the windows and I have them in all the places, but mostly just because I like them at this point. So yeah, I guess I have tried them for healing, but I think that for me, when I realized that for me, it was all about just energy focus, I just learned how to do that without the crystals and stuff. But I still like that stuff. Yeah. Adrian says, good morning, Angie, Malta, and everyone. Oh, and another thing about crystals is like if you wear one on your neck that's supposed to help you do this, that, or the other thing. Again, I think it's about knowing every time you see it or feel it on your neck, you go, oh, I have this crystal on. It's about healing. And so you're thinking about healing and then you're healing. You see what I'm saying? I think ultimately what it all comes down to is intention and the ability to attract what you want to yourself. It's the same deal with prayer. When you pray about something, you attract that thing to yourself if you do it in the positive way. You know what I mean? Instead of praying, I wish that my narcissist would leave me alone. You want to pray about like, I wish that I can move forward without, or could I please move forward in peace? You see what I'm saying? So as opposed to focusing on what you don't want, focus on what you do want. And I think that works on everything, really. All right. Adrian's in the house. She says, good morning, Malta, Angie, and everyone. Good morning, Miss Adrian. Bonnie says, how to get the triangulated flying monkeys to see the light. Oh, that is a hard one, Bonnie. Check out my videos on flying monkeys. What it all comes down to is that if they are people who know, that know you and know better, that's what you tell them. Look, you know me and you know better. If they are people who are going to continue to not believe you no matter what you say, don't waste your breath. Eventually, they'll see the light on their own. One thing that you need to remember is that whole lady doth protest too much methinks Shakespeare thing, where you don't want to overly try to make people, you don't want to spend too much time or energy trying to make people believe you, because the truth is what it is. You know the truth. And eventually the narcissist, if you don't see, the narcissist plays these games in order to get you to look crazy. And so in order to not let them win, you just act like yourself. You just continue on as normal. And if people are like, well, why aren't you stressing out about this? Go, because I know what's true. And if you don't, well, that's on you. You can't, it gets down to that part where you have to just, oh, excuse me, my nose is so itchy today. It gets down to that part where you have to just understand and relate to the idea that what other people think of me is not my problem. I know that's weird, but that's where you have to go. And it's hard, and it's hard especially when you're in a small community, and it's hard when these people are all around you, but that's where you have to go. And that's incredibly empowering as time goes on. Yeah. Nikita Paget says, good morning to all present in the live chat. And Curtis Miller says, first time live feed. been watching your videos for months. They've helped me so much. I try to stay strong with no contact, but she knows how to get to my heart. I've lost it all because of her. Curtis, I'm so sorry. And first of all, let me say welcome to the live feed. We do this every morning during the week, just not on Saturdays and Sundays. And we do it twice on Tuesdays. Curtis said, I absolutely feel you. I'm happy that the videos are helping. I also know how it feels to have someone that knows how to get to your heart. And I'm so sorry that you've lost it all because of her. Do you mean all of your financial stuff or do you mean all of your no contact? Let me know. Malta says, good morning, Adrian. And No More Evil says, okay, now I'm back. Welcome back. Stand Firm says, what about my spouse getting along with the narc spouse? What about a spouse going along with the narc spouse? My son has changed so much. He grew up nurtured. My daughter and I were his wife target from the beginning. Oh, his wife's target from the beginning. Now he's isolated from both of us. Oh, that's terrible. It sounds to me like your son might actually be a victim of a narcissist. Stand Firm. And my suggestion, actually, I'm going to be making a video about something like this. But my suggestion is that you just reach out to him and you let him know, that no matter what, you're there for him. And you let him know that you would be happy to see him and be involved with him, at his convenience. If you don't think he has any intention of leaving the wife, you may want to figure out a way to schmooze the wife a little bit, send her a nice gift. And, I don't know why she would, well, I do know why she would target you, because she probably feels jealous of him being involved with other females, despite the fact that they're his mother and sister. It's ridiculous, but that's how they roll. They, and quite honestly, even if, she might even feel that way about the father, but probably not as much as about the mother and the sister, because female narcissists are strange, just like male narcissists. But if she is a narcissist and she is controlling him, in addition to obviously reaching out to him, the other thing you want to do is reach out to her and figure out a way to make her happy and make her like you, and then try to visit with your son again. I guess I would need to know more information, and I could probably even help you understand specifically what to do with this particular one if I were able to sit down and chat with you about that. She says brainwashed. Yeah, that happens. Doesn't mean he's a narcissist. Sounds like he's a victim of one, though, for sure, or at least a controlling person. Free Last says, good morning, family. I keep freezing on the chat. How do I refresh? I assume that Malta will take care of that, but you should be able to just go into your browser, or if you're on YouTube on your phone, on my phone anyway, you can just pull down and it'll pop back up and refresh. On your browser, you can just hit the little circular refresh button, or you can actually go right into the chat bar, the address bar, and hit, put your cursor there and hit enter, and it'll refresh that way. Something to think about. All right, let's see here. Johnny Be Good is in the house. Oh, he says, Saturday we ended it. She said she closes the door on me. She closed the door on me and can't have me as a friend even, yet she texts me on Monday hoping I'm okay. And from the fires in California, does she still have feelings, or does she still have feelings? I mean, she has feelings that she wants supply from you, and she probably wouldn't like it if you died, because then that, you would be closed to supplying her. It sounds to me like a little bit of a Hoover, honestly, Johnny. So be very careful. Be very careful. What are your feelings like right now? Are you feeling like you miss her, or no? Tamara, Jillian says, yes, they have an inability to appreciate broken. That's why it never works. I went back 1,000 times in 9 years, 2 marriages to the same guy, so many tears. I didn't know. Now I do. Empowered. Yes. Yes. We all have our little stories that are crazy, but they all can end just like this, or not end, but continue with you being empowered and you taking your life and owning that stuff. You deserve to own it. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Knows says, I'm addicted to learning about narcissists. Been studying these monsters for 10 months now, and it feels like there's no amount of information that's ever enough for me. You must be like me, Eddie. Here's the thing about that, okay? Whenever I have any issue in my life, any concern, any problem, any trouble, my very first thing is, how do I figure this thing out? I need to understand it. So like my duo method, discover, understand, overcome, that's how I roll for everything. I study it. whatever it is I'm trying to do in my life, I'm studying it. And obviously I study narcissists a lot now because of what I do for a living. But it's until you're done learning about them, you're going to want to keep doing it, and that's okay. I think the reason that it feels like there's not enough information for you is because you haven't quite figured it out. You haven't quite figured out how this person that you were with would treat you so horribly. And you need to understand from a logical standpoint. A lot of us here, a lot of us who do continually research, a lot of us who do focus and study on things like this, it's just how we are. If you think about other times in your life, Eddie, when you've had problems, have you also studied other things, or is this narcissism thing the first time this has happened to you? You do look kind of young in your photo, but I know that, for me, I mean, I think my research self started even well before the internet. I used to go to the library and research stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. What do you think? Um, it's normal to feel that way, I think, up to a point. Rebel Law says, thank you, Angie. Well, my pleasure, my friend. Bonnie says, probably good to stay as positive as possible, even when walking through hell, trying to get out of it. Yeah, it is. And I know it's hard to stay positive then. But Bonnie, sometimes when you're walking through hell, that's the most important time to focus on what you had to be grateful for. And that's why we do Thankful Thursday here. But absolutely, it's important. It matters. Yes. Tommy says, I saw all of the destruction all around my ex-narcissist life. Negativity, sickness, death, it's all bad. I feel you, honey. Jillian says, with you, Eddie. Yeah. Yeah, it's how we process. I mean, when I found out about narcissism, it changed my life in more ways than one. But the first thing that I did, because I'm a freaking nerd, I like researched it and I wrote about it. And then I published it because I thought, well, this is basically a news article I just wrote here because I'm a journalist by nature before I became a life coach. So that's how I've processed almost everything in my life. I research it and I write about it, and now I do videos about it too. So hey, whatever. Never thought I'd be doing this. Tell you that. Pardon me. Muffy says, can you do the same thing with the narcs on the glass half full? I wish. On the glass half full thing, I still pray they will change. They're very dear to my heart. It makes it kind of hard to give in. I mean, I wish. I have not. I'll tell you, you can try. You can certainly teach a narcissist to be nicer to you, but it's constant vigilance on your part and constant strength, and it's exhausting because they only learn like for 5 minutes. They're like, you guys remember that fish in that movie that Ellen played in that movie, Finding Nemo? And like every 30 seconds, she forgot everything she just already knew. Well, narcissists are kind of like that when it comes to emotions and behaviors changes. They only change as long as it benefits them to do so. And then the minute that they forget that, you're nicer to them when they don't treat you like crap, they continue to treat you like crap. So you have to constantly gray rock during the crap times and reward, just like you're training a dog. It's not worth it, in my opinion. But I respect what you're saying, and I respect that they are dear to your hearts, and I understand that. But no, ma'am, I've never seen it successfully work long term with a narcissist. Maybe if the narcissist was a child, it would work. I don't know about an adult. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Johnny B. Good says, my friend saw her last night at a pub that I go to with a guy. Does this hurt your feelings, Johnny? Does it upset you, or did you expect it? Donna says, we do roses and thorns. You have to list 3 roses or blessings in a day versus 1 thorn or negativity. Well, whatever works for you, girl. I try really hard to only focus on what I want and what I can control. Certainly we all have those days where things suck sometimes. And, certainly we all verbalize those things in different ways. But I think the roses and thorns thing is kind of a good idea, because if you're going to talk about negativity, it's better to keep it less than half of the things you talk about. So 3 to 1 is a great ratio for that purpose. Good job, Donna. No More Evil says, yes, it's hard, but definitely good. Indeed, my friend, indeed. Stan Farm says, Bondi, I wondered the same thing. The narcs are pros at what they do. It is something that is intrinsically like if you think about how a habit is formed, okay, like for example, me doing these videos became a habit. And now I'm here all the time because not only is it a habit, but also because you guys wait, expect me to be here, and I care about how you feel, and I don't want to disappoint you. So I show up even when I don't want to show up sometimes. And I don't mean to say I don't love you guys, but every now and then I'm tired, I don't want to get dressed. So, but I do it because it is what I do. And so if you think about how a habit is formed, um, narcissists, they do these manipulations to people in their lives, and they see, oh, well, when I, say to someone this type of sentence, then this is the kind of reaction that I get. If I use this phrase with people, this is the kind of reaction I get. My narcissist used to play the poor me game with me all the time, and like, you're just trying to control me. Oh, poor me. Everything's terrible. How dare you not want me to go hang out with a woman, or whatever crap he was trying to pull. You know what I mean? And how dare I have opinions about this, that, and the other. And ironically, at first it worked. And before too long, I would be like begging him, oh, please go to the strip club with your friends. I would just, I'm sorry that I thought anything other than you should go to the strip club with your friends, or whatever crap he was pulling. And then one day I was like, wait a minute. That's not right. So what my point is that when they use certain types of manipulation, they grow. Um, it's like habits almost. In some cases, not now. Sometimes they are definitely calculated, but in many cases, especially with the people that they end up married to or in long-term relationships with, or even their children, they often develop habits of manipulation, and so they just manipulate out of habit, out of nature. You know what I'm saying? Nurture, maybe, but nature, it becomes their nature. I don't know if that makes any sense. Nikita says, my ex narc flying monkey is his mother, and she should know better because she had a narc that pistol whipped her. Holy crap. Now she wears hearing aids because she can't hardly hear due to that situation. Yeah, but Nikita, you and I both know sometimes when you have a child, it's harder for you to see that mess. You know what I'm saying? It's harder for you to see and recognize what you're dealing with. And especially because she can't hardly hear. She wears hearing aids due to this. Her child was probably her comfort in the world, which is not healthy, but it's true, most likely. So is that okay? Should she know better? Yeah, she should know better. No, it's not okay. But at the same time, you cannot expect that a mother, I mean, although I have to tell you that my ex-husband's parents supported me and not him after we got divorced. They were on my side for sure. But they knew him, and they didn't have illusions about him that weren't, they knew the truth. He had stolen from them. I found out after we got divorced that he had stolen from them when I left, or when we moved to St. Louis. He had stolen a bunch of stuff from their house, and he never told me he was stealing anything. So I was quite upset about that. Um, but so there are some cases where the mother will support the other person. But the truth is that in many situations, you can't even really be mad at her because she's his mother, and that's how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And since she was abused by a narcissist, she certainly is going to have a messed up perception of the world if she did not heal from that situation. And again, that's her child, and we love our children unconditionally, most of us. So I would just let that one, I would just tell her, look, I understand that you love your son and everything, but please don't be doing his dirty work for him with me, because I'm not going to tolerate that. You know what I'm saying? Is that helpful at all? I don't know. I think we have to have compassion for people like her, because he's probably abusing her in his own subtle way as well, is what I'm trying to say. I can't, this brings to mind the story of my friend, well, a former client who had a situation where she worked with his mother and him, the narcissist. His mother was an enabler, a flying monkey all day long. She ended up helping him to corner her at work after they had broken up, and sort of forcing her to take him back. And the way that the story was told to me, it sounded to me like the mother didn't even really want to do that, but she was literally afraid that if he didn't get what he wanted, her life was going to be a living hell. And I'm not saying that's what you're dealing with there, but I'm saying that's another possibility. Yep. Bonnie says, like this story of the donkey stuck in the hole, people were piling dirt onto it until the donkey eventually was able to walk right out of that hole and escape. Indeed, my friend. That's what an excellent. Oh yeah, that's an excellent story to share, you guys. Um, uh, that's how a smear campaign works, right? So eventually you're going to be able to walk right out of that hole and escape. I love that, Bonnie. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's really good stuff. Jillian says, kitten fosters, meow, nice. Yes, indeed, my friend. Shannon O'Brien says, grateful to have time with children as they are young, time to teach more empathy and how to protect themselves before going forward into the world as adults. Yeah, I was thinking about that today too. My middle son is about to start high school next year, and it just makes me want to cry my eyes out because I don't know what I'm going to do when he leaves me. But I'm going to be okay. I'm sure I'll be okay. It's really, really, it's hard to think about it, but I'm certainly grateful for it. Makes me remember, and that's one good thing about me. When I had my children far, because I had my children far apart, I have this blessing of being able to understand the value of the years that we have now, and the value of, when the kids were little tiny kids even. It goes by so fast. And when you're in the middle of it, sometimes you're like, holy crap, this is never going to end. But oh my God, before you know it, they're going to high school. And I've got one who's already out in the world living on his own, and he's 20 years old. I mean, when did that happen? I feel you, girl. Eddie Knows says, Jillian, God bless. Latanya Davis says, I have my children in therapy so they can really talk with a professional that can really help. That's great news. She says 15 years. My children are 13, 11, and 7. They need counseling as well. Absolutely, Latanya. They absolutely do. I'm with you 100%. Tamara says, Jillian, I'm so happy you got away. You think I would know. I was married to one for 11 years and went right to this one. Been with this guy for a year and a half. It's been a total roller coaster. Sweetheart, I think that maybe the reason this happened is because you didn't give yourself that healing time that you needed. And if now that you know what you're dealing with, I think this might be an excellent time for you to really like make this the year of Tamara. You know what I'm saying? Like focus on yourself for once in your life. And gosh, you can have it could be really good. It could be really good. At some point you have to realize that you deserve to be loved and respected and cherished, and that until you can do those things for yourself, love, respect, and cherish yourself, nobody else is going to do it right either, because you're going to fall for the wrong person. You're going to fall for the shiny pretty package, so to speak, as opposed to the real deal. So I would ask you to make a promise to yourself right now that from this point forward you will not fall for anything but the real deal. Not, at least not completely. I mean, you might crush on somebody here and there, but until you know they're the real deal, don't let your heart out of your chest, so to speak. I don't know. Jillian says, thanks, Eddie. Bonnie says, I love cats too. It's a great thing to teach children charity by volunteering for fosters and rescues. Absolutely. Love that and agree. Narga says, yes, Angie, he was happy to know that I have Angie by my side, guiding me to be whole again. Oh, I love that so much. He is very ambitious, this son of mine, and he's all these business ideas, and he was relaying it all to me. I love that, and I would be very interested in hearing his thoughts as well, Nargis. I love it. Tommy D says, Tamara, becoming narc free is a process. We fall, but we get back up and we keep moving. That's what we're all here for, hun. Tommy D, you know I love you, and I appreciate that so much. I love how you guys support each other in this chat. It's such a big deal to me. Oh, look, David H is in the house. Hey, David H, welcome back. You guys, I don't know, for those of you who know, David H is our Florida police detective. And for those of you who don't know, Jillian is our attorney friend. And so if you guys do have legal questions while they're here, pop them out. No More Evil says, I know me and my daughter, I want a dog or cat. The narc won't let us. His reasoning is money, of course. Jeez. Well, I mean, they cost a little bit, but not that much. I mean, I have the cat food delivered from Amazon every month. It's, $30 or something. It's not that bad. And then of course you have to pay for like the vet bills and stuff, but they're not that expensive. And around here anyway, like our cat got sick, one of our cats, and we took him to the vet. And I mean, we got like 3 different kinds of medication, and it was an emergency visit and all this other stuff. And I mean, we paid like $150. I didn't think it was that bad. And, I think we paid extra because of going in on the same day. And then they gave us 3 possible solutions, and we took them all because we wanted to make sure the cat was okay. So like, I think I could have got out of there a lot cheaper if I wanted to, but it's my son's cat, and he was like really seriously upset about it. So we went ahead with everything. And that was like, again, that was a very expensive visit typically, so I'm just saying. Okay. And they have pet insurance now, from what I understand. Johnny B. Good says possibly her ex and or the guy I just caught her out with. I tried to go check it out just to find out who it was, but just missed him. Johnny B. Good, I want you to stop doing that. If you are not with this person anymore, please don't waste your energy stressing about her. I want you to take care of yourself now. Please, please. Big hugs and love to you, my friend. Arlene Robertson says, good morning, Angie, and all you lovely ladies and gentlemen. Adrian says, Angie, thanks for the video to help your kids. Love you, appreciate you. Awaiting your next video on this. Okay, very good. My pleasure, Adrian, and I'm happy to do it. I have another one coming today, I think, and there will be more. The next one, yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Okay. Marga says his mom blesses him with all of his endeavors. Well, yeah, I'm with you. And you should bless him. Absolutely. If you're talking about your son. Malta says, good morning, David H. Jillian says, Tamara, it gets better. I was there. I'm choosing singleness for now. I think singleness is kind of a good thing in this situation. I waited, well, it turned out to be like a year and a few months. But I wanted to make sure I was legally divorced before I dated anybody. And then I was kind of picky about who I would date after I got divorced because I had a kid. And when you have a child, especially a little child, you have to ask yourself, do I want my child to grow up and be like this person? You know what I mean? So that was important to me. But I ended up not dating anybody for a little over a year. The divorce took about 9 months. And I still waited a little longer. But and I want you to know that I was not waiting until I was legally divorced because I was trying to stay faithful to my husband. I wasn't. I was doing it for myself. I was doing it even though I didn't live with him. When I left him, I left. I'd stayed gone. But I didn't date anybody because I knew I was broken. I didn't know exactly why I was broken yet. I just knew that he had hurt me and I was broken. And I knew I needed to heal. And I don't think I fully healed, but I certainly think that at my young age at the time, I did the best I could. And I certainly got more confident in myself and stronger. And I got my life together before I started dating anybody. So that was really helpful for me. Yes. Candace Young says, I spent 20 years with my ex narcissist. Now that I know he is a narcissist and what happened to me, it feels like none of my life was real. Oh, sweetheart, I get that. And, I felt very, very much like that in my own situation, partially because of the fact that I was raised by one. And that made me, I had to question everything I knew to be true. And it was hard, but also very, very liberating. So don't beat yourself up about it. Just find out what you really believe and what you really don't believe. Start there. Shastina says, good morning, all. Good morning, Shastina. Welcome, welcome. Always happy to see you, my friend. Tommy D says, I was there too, Jillian and Tamara. It affirms what we already knew, but we just did not want to believe. Absolutely the truth. All right. Elizabeth says, sorry, Candace, I can relate. It makes sense. No More Evil says, I know how you feel, Candace. Same here. Shannon O'Brien says, Latanya, I'm interested in getting a therapist for my kids too. Started with looking for a therapist for myself. I hope this is helping your children. Yeah, Shannon, I will be reaching out to you about that as well. We talked about that. Jillian says, Candace, I'm sorry you have 20 years of experience to shine the light on others. All is not lost. That's right. And Bonnie says, Tamara, narcs will stomp on our hearts any chance they get. Get those positive books on how to get away from the narcissist and move forward into a whole beautiful new life. No more dog food for the narcissist. That's right. Candace Young says, thanks everyone for the support. Stan Firm says, my husband is a covert narcissist. My daughter-in-law is a narcissist. My daughter's ex is a sociopath, and I feel that I'm surrounded by narcissists in my life. I question myself, look within, but the facts are there. Yeah. And guys, that we tend to attract narcissists because we care how people feel and because we tend to react to the way that people feel very, very swiftly and effectively. And narcissists, they catch that. They test us. They test us at the beginning and they're like, this is, oh, you reacted when I got hurt, or you reacted when I had an outburst about something, and you did something to help me feel better and calm me down. So you must be a good source of supply. And that's how that kind of starts. So don't beat yourself up about that. It is normal and natural for empaths to unfortunately attract people who want to suck you dry. All right. But knowing it, discovering it, now you're working on understanding it so that you can overcome it and you don't have to continue to do that in your life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just like Tommy says, now that you know that you know that you know they're a narc, it's time to refocus on you and healing while in no contact. And I 100% agree with Tommy on this, as per just about always. Um, Jillian says, I remember making the conscious choice to realize that I thought it was a sham. It is disturbing now. It is disturbing how aware I was after I found out about narcissism. I actually knew that I had to accept reality. Yeah. No More Evil says 25 years I was blind. Pretty much right before our 25-year marriage anniversary, I got the discard. That's terrible. Candace Young says, wow. Tommy D says, exit strategy, no contact, rocket. Yes. Oh, look, Between is here. Hey, hey, hey. Between says, how should one deal with narcissists at work in close environments? Gray Rock, only deal with them on business things. Do not have personal, private conversations with them. Every time you deal with them, make sure you copy somebody else. Like, so if you're dealing with them on a work issue, make sure you're always copying or blind copying your boss or your coworker or someone else who will have a copy of it just in case. And if you're dealing with them face to face, try not to be alone in rooms with them. Try to keep it all business all the time and never, ever, ever focus on any personal things with that person. Don't share any weaknesses with them and don't allow them to upset you. If they do upset you, make sure that they don't see it. Go home and scream into a pillow if you have to, because if they know that they affect you, they will. It's like they if they get a little sign that they could pull a string and make you hurt, they're going to start pulling the string. You know what I'm saying? So keep it business-like, keep it keep it calm, keep it focused on business only, and don't let them in your personal life. And if it becomes too much of a problem, if it's somebody that's your boss, then you might want to consider documenting the stuff or whatever and giving it to HR. If it's somebody that is your coworker or your subordinate, you know, maybe you consider working for a different. I mean, yeah, maybe if it's a subordinate, obviously there are other things you can do. If it's a coworker and you can't get away from them, then you might either want to consider going to a different job or transferring to a different department or something. It depends on what kind of company you're with and what they're doing exactly. Um, Bonnie says, stand firm. I am swimming with the shark narcs too. It's tough. Keep swimming and take care of yourself first. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to. Yeah. Stand firm says, when I put up boundaries, two friends of other over 20 years door slammed me. You know, I'm sorry to hear that. But sometimes you just don't ever know who's really your friend until times get tough. And I'm just really sorry that that happened to you, Stand Firm. But know that we are here and we will not door slam you over here. Renee Goodell said, and I know it's not the same, I know that very much, but we're here. Renee Goodell says, I had my breast biopsy yesterday and I will know the results Friday morning. Renee, I'm big hugs to you and I'm here. We're here. We want to know what's going on with you and we will support you no matter what. And I here's hoping for positive, positive, healthy results that are not in any way negative, unless it's negative for problems. Sorry. Jillian says, we can use these experiences to move forward and help others. That's the queen being way. That's right, Jillian. Thank you, my friend. No More Evil says, my whole life fell apart. Been there, done that. More than once. I understand. Tamara Lynn says, stand firm, mine as well. My father, ex-husband, and current boyfriend. I wanted to believe boyfriend was not because I feel so alone. That is one of the worst parts of this whole thing, is that we do feel so alone sometimes. I remember feeling alone in a crowded room many times just because I just didn't feel like anyone could understand me. And I felt like no one could possibly get what I had gone through because I didn't even know how to explain it at that time. Yeah. Jillian has prayers for Renee. Tommy D says, I'm owning my no contact. I'm going to try very hard never to slip up again because it's nothing but allowing the abuse to be prolonged. Shastina says, I was blind for 30 years and another 6 to fully accept. It took her another 6 to fully accept. Don't feel bad. I can empathize, she says. And I think a lot of us can empathize, you know? Between says, I mean, it took me 35 years to discover my original narcissist. Between says, narcissistic abuse is hard and complicated, and the recovery is just as hard. And we are learning now, better late than never. And that is the truth. Thank you so much for saying that. That is the absolute truth. Adrian says, thanks, Angie. I will get the Teen Secret book for my 16-year-old daughter. Yeah, that is great. And I think it will help her. I do. You would be surprised. And at 16, she might even be able to read the, the main one. Did I see Jay Mimi? Hold on. Wait. Hi, Rick Mash. I'm glad to hear you and Camden are doing well. Hold on. Jay Mimi. Hold on. Okay, I'm about to leave, but I need to check on Jay Mimi because I've been missing her. Jay Mimi, you're back. How are you? I'm so glad to see you. I'm so sorry, guys, that I'm having trouble getting through here. I'm running out of time and I'm missing chat. Love says, please help. I can't get past a week no contact. I've never made friends. I don't trust anyone. I had a lifetime family of severe narcs. Okay, love, listen up. Come here every day, Monday through Friday. And you can even come and watch videos on Saturdays and Sundays. Monday through Friday, we are live here around 9:30 in the morning, Central Time, until I have to get offline. Right now, I am about to get offline, but I want you to know that you're in my thoughts, and that can be step one. Go to queenbeing.com/ what is it called? 60 days, I think, for this. Just go to queenbeing.com and look at the top. Along the top, there's a thing that says 60-day no contact calendar. Click on that and get it. It's free. It's a download. You could just, and it'll walk you through it every day. It gives you a little activity to do. Do that, come here, and boom, you're set. Okay, we'll do it with you. All right. Jay Mebe says, hey, you guys. Jay Mebe, tell me what's going on. Where have you been? We've been missing you. We've been worried about you. Tamara, don't beat yourself up, honey. We're here. Flying Monkeys says, between always seem to find ways to show up at the same place, same time to interrogate you and then later lie and make up rumors. Yes, indeed. Bonnie says, Angie, I love that prayer you said about being positive. It is empowering to say, I will move forward in peace, light, and love. Yes, indeed, my friend. It is empowering. And that's what it's all about. Yes, indeed. Okay. Jay Mebe. Tommy says, I tried and tried and tried. It's an impossible goal to please him. Waste of time, no contact. Yes, indeed. P.S. The book was all about personality disorders, was thin and covered all of them. Right on. Hey Magenta, she says, what others think isn't my problem. Read recently that it's an egotistical stance. I can see the angle, but I disagree. Thoughts? Okay, sure. It can be an egotistical stance. It depends on how you take it. You know, in the case where you can't control what other people say about you, you can't let others think about what you. It's not what others think. It's what others think about me that isn't my problem. And what I mean by that is, if you can't, and you certainly can take it as an egotistical thing. You could take it as, I'm not going to care how you feel. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you are in that situation where you're being smear campaigned and you can't control what people are saying about you, you can do one of two things. You can either stress the hell out about it and make your life hard and freak out and worry and cry and make yourself sick and fat and skinny and whatever else happens to you when you're stressed, right? But you could also just be like, I can't control that. It's not my problem. And continue to live the life that you know that you're supposed to be living, or the ethical way that you choose to live. You can't allow other people to ruin your life just because the way they think about you. I've done that for my whole life. I've always worried so hard about, what is he thinking? What is she thinking? What if they don't like me? And if I did that, you guys, I wouldn't be here right now with you guys. If I continue to live in that mindset of, I have to worry about what everybody thinks, I wouldn't be here, because I wouldn't have the nerve. If you guys remember, my original videos were all just slideshows. And the first time I ever got on camera, I was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I didn't want to be on camera. That was never my intention. My intention was never that. But it happened. And partially because of you guys, because people are saying, let us see your face. You sound like you know what you're talking about. Let us see you. And blah, blah, whatever. Yes, I see that it can be an egotistical stance, but in so much as it's not that I don't care what people think. It's just that if they're talking negatively about me, I don't care what they think. Does that make any sense? I can't dwell on people I can't control. I can't dwell on things I can't control. That's it. All right. Jamie B says, morning, Shelly Ann, Jillian, Malta. And Eddie Knows says, yeah, bro, they are never satisfied. Tamara Lynn says, thank you, Angie, for your kind and wise words. I feel a little better. Thank you for being here. My pleasure. And that makes my day hearing that. Thank you. Jillian says, happy to see your lovely face. Good morning. Chastina says, love, love, love. Oh, love, love. Join Span on Facebook. Yes, indeed. queenbeing.com/span. Lots of support and help in Angie's group. Thank you, Chastina. Jay Meeby, I need you to speak to me. Where have you been? We missed you. Tell me, tell me. I'm trying to wait for her to say. Everybody's been worried about you. Oh, she said, I screw up big time. Okay, what happened, Jay Meeby? And we're just glad you're here and we're glad you're okay. What's going on? I was sad, guys. She says, beyond. Even after my son left basic training, I believe my husband, not 100%. Okay. She says, I chose to believe that he had changed and that he's learned his lesson, would do anything to get me back and keep me. And I'm back. I'm okay. I'm back in Vegas now, back at our home. I went on a 6-day Mexican vacay, which was amazing. But now I'm settling down with him or at home. Things are getting twisted again and the old feelings are coming back, feeling confused. Okay. Hey, honey, I understand completely. And I don't even care. I'm just glad. I mean, I care, but I'm glad that you're back. And I'm sorry that things aren't going as you had hoped they would go, but please stick with us. Yeah. Liza, I have often wanted to start something like this because I have so many people. Liza says, is there a fund that a person could contribute money to help those get away from their narc? If someone's willing to take that step, I would like to contribute. I want to do that. I don't know all the logistics of it. I've thought about setting up something like a GoFundMe or something, but I don't know all the implications of that. I definitely love the idea. I would love to be able, I know so many people who need help, obviously, because of what I do. I talk to a lot of people. I know a lot of people that need help. I just want to make sure that it stays open and honest. And I want it to be very transparent. And I need to be very careful. I have the collective group, Liza, which is a group of people who help to pull together resources for people. So one thing we could do is we could set up some kind of a program through that, but I guess I would want you to, or whoever's doing it, to donate their money directly to an individual person who needs it, because I don't know how to set it up properly. I've wanted to do that for a really long time, and in my dreams, I have this idea of putting together some sort of like, this is so silly, some kind of ranch or something where people could come and live like out in the middle of nowhere. There would still be internet though, and and I would be able to be there with them in a lot of situations or often, and I would be able to help people individually who need it get to, an escape place, a place for them to go and be safe and to be with people who are like them and who understand them and who have been there and done that. Because we so often, and there would be in my dream world, there would also be like a school on campus or, on in the ranch that, maybe we'd have teachers and we'd have, who live there. We could, even if it was like a little homeschool program the kids could go to, something like that, so that a woman or a man who was in an abusive situation could take their children if they needed to and hide until they need, and figure it all out and maybe, find employment. And I could even teach people how to do their own thing employment wise. There are so many, like if money wasn't an object, I would be doing so many more things that I'm already doing. Yeah. I have many ideas and I would just love that. So someday, maybe, you never know. You never know. Okay, I got a little excited there. Tommy D says, oh, Shelly Ann John. Hey, Shelly Ann says, Tommy D, I agree. There are lots of people out there. Magenta says, Rick Mash. Chestina says, love, love, love. Make a fake account to join Span. Use a heart for your profile pic. Great idea. Hey, Jamie says, I decided to delete my Facebook and fake phone numbers in order to give our marriage 100% attention, but the confusion and squirrely behavior is slowly creeping in. Jamie B, I just want to say one thing to you, and then I really have to go because I've got to get on a client call now. But I want to tell you that we are not disappointed in you. We understand how it feels. I myself have fallen off the wagon in the past, as I'm sure many of us have in different situations. I also understand that it's very hard when you go away from your home and then your baby goes away from you. And then you're suddenly alone in the world, even if you're living with your mom or your dad or your friend, it's still different. And you've spent 20 years with this person. Of course, you want to try to work on the marriage. Of course, you do. Of course. But you know what? Don't beat yourself up. Just forgive yourself and love yourself. And we're not going to make you do anything. Just please come back here and be with us. I'm so glad that you came back and that you're here with our little Spanily again. And whoever you show up as, we still love you. All right. Okay, guys. Big hugs, big love to all of you. I've got to run. I wish I could stay all day. I really do. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow for our live session, and I'll be back today with at least one more video, but probably two. Definitely our declutter video for the day, and definitely probably a narcissism video and a recovery video. All right. Of course, the declutter video, in my opinion, is part of recovery. So, all right, guys, I'll see you soon. Love you all. Big hugs, big love. As always, thank you so much for letting me be a part of your day and a part of your life. And thank you for being a part of mine because it really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon.